All right, we are live. It's the Spinning Back Fist MMA show for UFC Vegas 85. Card just wrapped up. A lot of good matchups on the card. Some good finishes, some dud fights. What did we think of the card overall, fellas?
I thought it was okay. The Moicano fight helped in the end. It wasn't anything like spectacular. I would say like average.
Yeah. Ev?
It was pretty. I mean, it was all right. It had some. It weirdly had some nice knockouts. Had some like weird fights kind of early on, but it had some decent fights too. Yeah, I'd give it like a C plus,
Yeah.
B minus ish range.
And we're joined by Lee today as well. Lee, if you're not aware, is the genius behind the Spinning Back Fist Twitter, Instagram. He's running our socials these days, crushing it with the memes, getting us in trouble with certain people. Lee, what do you think of the card?
Yeah, only a couple. It like for I think I didn't have the highest expectations going into it, and I think it met those like subpar like expectations, right? I don't think we were really like thinking like this was going to be anything crazy. I think the biggest stories tonight were like more like outside the cage, right? Like
Yeah.
more like judges, refs,
Moicano, 62-year-old
injuries.
father.
That's a whole thing by
Good for
itself.
him.
Dude, that was
yeah.
was everything we wanted it to be in terms of like that was one of the big things I feel like most of us were looking forward to. Like, please let Moicano get a post-fight speech. And I said in my blog about it, if Moicano Wants Money was his hit single, this speech was his album full of deep cuts. He kept going, whether it was the 62-year-old father line, whether it was the send everybody to church, I want to become a police officer and SWAT team and kill the bad guys line. He's going at the MMA guru. He's still going at the MMA guru, I'm sure. He's probably still live right now. You could tune into our live stream or you could check out him shitting on the MMA guru.
The man wants to save America, Robbie.
He does.
He wants to save America. That's where he's fighting. He wants to go over here, save America, promote his YouTube, kill the bad guys, and impregnate his wife.
Oh, yeah, he did promise to basically impregnate his wife in celebration of his dad impregnating his wife.
Crazy. Whoa. He's gonna be birthing a. I guess that's crazy. I mean, his dad. I mean, like he had a brother today.
Yeah.
He had a brother born today.
Yeah.
I was going to do the math in my head of like how it would be like his son would be. I don't even.
His son's uncle would be like a year older than him. It would be one of those situations.
That's like the kicking and screaming.
Yes. McGregor had a good tweet when he was like, "Fair play, Moicano Senior."
Oh man, he's. Crazy. I mean, good fight. He's somebody who like I'd like to see him get like a fun fight. I think you mentioned it. Him versus like Dan Hooker or something would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'd be into something like that. I think that makes sense.
Dude, the slow-mo shot they showed of round 2, like from the side where you could see just like a wave of blood pouring out of that cut was fucking crazy.
So everybody gave also before we continue, tonight's stream brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka. We love New Amsterdam here.
Yep.
I'm sure it's flowing at NHL All-Star Weekend right now in Toronto. New Amsterdam Vodka always, I mean, it's the official vodka of Barstool Sports. It has been for, ever. It's been with Barstool forever. And shout out to them for sponsoring the stream tonight and then a bunch of the recent shows as well, and hopefully more in the future. But with Moicano, going into round 3, I mean, he kind of even had a little bit of a comeback because early in round 3, it felt like it was Dober's fight, almost like he took it over.
Yeah. Moicano was a warrior tonight. He was like fighting through the cut on his eye, fighting through the adversity of Dober. Very impressed by Moicano. I thought the co-main event was great. Yeah, that lived up to the hype. I mean, like Randy Brown getting a knockout in the first round was great. It was very exciting. Obviously, I'm wearing the hoodie right now. Meatball Molly making her 115 debut. And she meant business. She just came forward, pressure, attack the body, ripping elbows, and then to get that armbar with like a second left in the round, that was awesome. She looked at the clock almost as if like, all right, how much time do I have? Waited till there was 10 seconds left, did the slick transition, got the armbar. I was very happy for her, obviously.
That was, I mean, for us, one of the best moments of the night, probably the moment, just because she looked so good. And I mean, obviously it's Diana Belbita, but still, Meatball Molly back. She was a star there for a minute, and then had 2 tough losses, and now we see her at 115. And I mean, who knows? Like, she could get back into like kind of the top 15. You never know.
Yeah, this could be a new start for her. It really could be. She looked amazing. She apologized to Dana and the UFC afterwards. Like, she was very like soft spoken in her post fight interview. She's like, "I'm sorry for not fighting at this weight class for my whole career, basically." So I think she feels like she's a natural 115 pounder. We talked about it this week. She didn't look sucked in or bad. She looked great on the scale, and obviously it translated to the octagon. She looked strong in there. I think 115 is definitely a new start for Molly.
Yeah, I mean, humble Molly for sure on the mic.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see that, but then I guess coming off I mean, she's kind of had this crazy roller coaster where she has the 2 like crazy barstool, 2 crazy knockouts. She's jumping in Dave Arm. Highlight like the back-to-back elbows, and then like 2 quick submission losses. It's the way the fans is. Obviously, we talk about it's different than being like a sports team. The fans are so like fair weather. They're with you when you're up. They're against you when you're down. Now they're back. I mean, she said, like you said, she looked great on the scale. Humble Molly. I mean, she looked like just eye of the tiger. From the second the bell rang, she's just on a mission, just landing big shots. Great finish. I hope she gets a bonus.
Who do you give her next? Like,
I'll say one. If Carolina Kovalkiewicz loses to Lucindo in May at 301 Brazil, I think that's a good fight for her. I just saw that today.
I like that.
I mean, I'm looking at some names now that, like, Vanessa Demopoulos, like Elise Reed. Then we get into like kind of. I mean,
Angela Hill. Somebody said that would be a scrap.
Yeah,
I like that.
Carolina would be like a big. Loma's fighting. Who's Loma fighting next weekend? She's fighting some.
I think Brenda Brazil. I think.
Yeah. I mean, you could possibly do something with like the loser of that, or even the winner of that. To be honest, maybe winners like. Loma would be an interesting matchup. I've always liked her game a little bit, but I guess
give
we'll
her
see.
strikers. Give Molly people she can go in there and box. Those are the fights I want to see out of her.
Here, big grappling edge for her here.
True. She did get the meatball sub tonight, as predicted.
Huge. I mean, that was just those arms were out there for the like 50 seconds she was on top. And I was just like, get the armbar, get the armbar, get the armbar. Obviously, she was timing it because she wanted to not give up the position on top. But yeah, phenomenal job by Molly. And I'm sure it's kind of like just a relief. Like, I'm back in the W column.
Yeah. To get back on track. Yeah. Another one of the highlight moments of the night was Themba Garimbo. First round knockout. Took him 30 seconds. He was telling everyone all week, anyone who would listen, I'm getting a first round knockout. Everyone's like, all right. I mean, he's not really like a first round knockout kind of fighter. And then tonight he proved he is. That cracking sound of that punch was nuts.
Well, he landed it almost. It was almost like he landed it like it was like a border, like a forearm shiver.
Yeah.
Like he didn't land like straight fist. Like he landed like basically like right there, like right to just like almost took like his whole like jawline.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a couple of people saying bad stoppage. I mean, he was out.
He was trying to wrestle Herb Dean.
He was dead. He stood up. He was fucking all over the place.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a very good stoppage. And Herb was getting some flack in the main event for the non-stoppage, but like, I don't know. I didn't think it was. I get he ate so many shots unanswered, but there was never a moment where I was like, he's like knocked out.
I thought it was fine. I mean, Dolidze, like I know you're not supposed to ref it like that, but Dolidze's a warrior. Like he can take a shot in. I never thought he was really even he was kind of landing some shots when he was trying to get back up too. But I thought, I mean, the ref decisions that were questionable tonight were definitely Dean Smith, which I definitely
Yeah.
wanted to ask you guys about. With he was really almost too much action, specifically against Renato at the end of the third round. I mean, I felt like that was not the time to go in and try to get them to be stood up.
No, it was weird.
I mean, he let Arujo, or how the fuck you say her name, have Silva against the cage for like 4 minutes straight doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then Moicano's sitting there like working, like trying to work to like full mount, like potentially like trying to set up like arm triangles, like even like landing ground and pound. And Mark's like, he's like, work. I was like, get this clown out of here. Like, get out of the way.
I wish
like,
they,
what is this guy doing?
in moments like that, I wish Dana White could be like, we're swapping refs out in between rounds. Get him out of there.
I just the inconsistency from the same ref in one night. It was just insane.
It's bad, yeah.
And also, I don't know if I forget. I mean, the 47-47 in the main event. Fire him and investigate him yesterday.
Wait, what? Somebody gave 47.
Bro, there's a draw. Yes, there's a draw.
47-47 on the card.
So he didn't give a 10-8 in the first round, and then which other round did he give to Dolidze?
He gave the fourth round to Dolidze, and it was the point deduction, so we got a 10-8, and then gave him another round. He won 0 rounds.
He didn't give a 10-9. He didn't give a 10-9 in round 1. It was Ron McCarthy, by the way. Ron McCarthy. He gave 10-9 Imavov round 1. He gave 10-9 Dolidze round 2. And then he gave a 10-8 Dolidze round 4.
Yeah, round 2 was like I know Dolidze had him against the cage a lot, but that was that was Imavov the entire time. I think we were lucky Sean Strickland wasn't in the crowd tonight, because if he was, I think he would have ran into the cage with Chris Curtis. We almost got a DQ, not because of the kick, but because Imavov wanted to fight Chris Curtis.
If he got a stoppage in that fight, he was going to treat Chris Curtis like Khabib treated Dylan Dennis.
Yeah.
He was just going to hop over the cage, throw the mouth guard, and try to hit a double stomp there. He was pissed.
And I know that beef goes back, but he was mad. He was even after the fight, they were like, him and Dolidze were like, definitely, just two fighters who were like, hey, great fight. I mean, Imavov was an idiot. He almost got, for a second time, he almost had that kick. I know that rules kind of we're getting rid of that, but he almost did it again. I was
going for it again after that was crazy.
In the 5th round, when you're definitely going to win, that would have been all-time French 70 IQ. It would have, I think it would have, broke Twitter.
That was bad. And Lee, I think you were the one that tweeted, I assume it was a good tweet. That is the reason why the rule shouldn't exist. You see a kick like that, that should be legal in MMA. He wasn't downed. He wasn't a downed opponent, but the rules said he was.
The other thing is too, it was just his fingertips too. It wasn't even
no weight.
Palm of the hand.
No,
there was no weight on it. He was just doing it just to stay there, just so he couldn't get kicked in what should be absolutely a legal position. So that rule, for anybody that doesn't know, right? They voted on it in California. The guy who is the head of the California Commission, I believe his name's Andy Foster. That might be wrong, but the head of the California guy is also the head of the MMA rules in the US. So he's the guy that's in charge of making the rules. And then that goes to vote this summer on whether that's going to become a rule nationwide across the US for the unified rules. So there's probably a really good chance that that's happening. So by the summer, it should be gone.
I wish we could speed that shit up for UFC 300. That should be one of the appeals of the card. We're fixing the rules.
So it's in regards to the Jan Sterling knee would still be illegal.
I assume,
yeah, he was on his knees.
Yeah,
knees. Okay.
Yeah, so it's anything other than the hands have to be down. So if an elbow's down or a knee's down or butt or like something other than your hands, if it's just your hands, it's legal to kick, punch, throw, whatever.
Got it. That makes sense.
Another win worth mentioning, Charles Radke looked great tonight.
I mean, yeah, like almost too good. I was like, where did this Charles Radke come from?
Yeah.
I mean,
and
he made, I know Urbina was not on tonight, but like he made Urbina like look not good.
Yeah. He didn't go as crazy as he went last time in the post-fight interview, thankfully. But he was fired up in it.
He's a one of one. I mean, he truly is a one of one.
And shout out his wife, the engineer.
Yeah. Yep. Helping
Me
him out all the
learning
time.
that she's an engineer, like an engineer, married Charles Radke. I mean, God bless her.
Did you guys see afterwards for it? So okay, two things I want to mention. One, he's working with Bilal, obviously,
Yeah.
in that camp. Really underrated camp, right? Like they seem to be putting out guys left and right. Michael Morales is there now. Baja Mondays is there full time, right? They're doing really good things, especially at that weight class. Two, at the post fight press conference afterwards, he said that UFC fighters should be paid to do post fight like press conferences like they were doing. So the press decided not to ask him any questions because of it.
What?
Wait, so he was like, I should be paid for this. And then all the
Yes.
press was like, we're
We're
just not
good
going to ask
then.
you anything.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Okay.
That's unreal unity by the press there to be like, all right, get out of here.
Also,
I
I feel like the benefit you get from post fight, like those press conferences, like we learned a lot about Themba Garimbo from those. Like
Oh my
he
God,
told
yeah.
us like you get way more from that than like ever having. There's probably 5 guys that should be paid to be doing that. Like
And
the
think
top tier
about
stars.
like you're saying, there's maybe 20 cameras on the post-fight press conference at all times, and 20 different media outlets are going to tweet a clip of you and tag you in
Yeah.
it. Like, dude, you are getting paid for an exposure for doing those post-fight press conferences. Like, that's huge.
He just lost out on like, I mean, if you wanted to run the numbers, you're right. And he's a guy that like he has quotable moments. And that's his
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah. That's funny. I didn't know that happened.
It's just foolish.
Yeah. What else is on the main card here? Randy Brown, we mentioned. Natalia Silva. That fight was,
Well,
She's
Imavov,
good.
I mean, what do we do with Imavov now?
yeah, is he Imavov now?
No.
that his cardio, we have to question it, right? Because
Yeah.
between round, like after 3, he was dead. Like he is so lucky that Roman like couldn't do anything until he got kicked in the face illegally. Like
Yeah.
it was a shocker to me.
He was looking at the clock a lot, like
In
constantly
the
looking at
3rd
the clock.
round.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like him just being like dramatic and like faking being tired. He was accepting those positions of Delidze having him against the cage because I think he was just like I'm gonna just like try to recover. I know he had that huge burst in the 1st round, but still, I'm
You
with
run it
Lee.
back with Chris Curtis because they got beef.
I mean, I think that's a great fight. Like, I mean,
There's bad
Middleweight
blood
is
there.
pretty booked, like at the moment. Like so, unless like I mean, an easy one. This is the easiest one. Is you take the winner of Hermanson and Pfeiffer next week, and you face him against Imavov. That's like the easy option, right? If you're gonna
yes.
dive deeper,
I was gonna
Curtis,
say I was gonna say if you really want to give him like a step up, you could go like the winner of like Alan Vittori.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's not till like the beginning of April, I think, though.
I think Vittori would fuck him up.
I mean,
Well,
I think
I
you're
mean-
gonna have some time. You're gonna have some time between fights now. I bet they save him until like I'm pretty sure they're going back to Paris this year. So
Yeah.
I assume
I
that
think they are.
they're just gonna save him for that.
Probably
So,
September
like,
again. I think they did that twice in a row, didn't they?
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think so.
if Vittori won, that's your main event, or it could be,
Yeah.
or like co-main with like Cyril Gahn, or something like that.
If Benoit wins, against Dustin, he's getting that main event over
You're probably
Gon,
right.
over Imavov, over. He's going to be
Over
the
Gon?
dude.
They might just want him to be like a pay-per-view guy.
There's a chance, yeah.
Like if he beats Dustin, there's not even like anywhere else to go up. Like besides like if he goes out there and like knocks out Dustin in the first round, something crazy. I mean, he's gonna be like maybe next for the belt.
Yeah.
Not before like Charles or Sarukian, but like right after that. I mean,
Yeah.
or who knows? Maybe he does something crazy and he does. They're on the same card, or excuse me, not same card, one card before. But I mean, co-main event of like a huge Miami card. I mean,
Yeah.
if he does something nuts, he could be like right there.
Yeah, fair.
The Muradov fight that lasted for 2 seconds.
Murdoch. And then Kiriev, like, I mean, the Black Wolf, he hasn't fought in like 3 years, and he fought for 10 seconds. Like, I don't feel bad for him because I feel like a lot of like his inactivity is on him, but like that was almost like God saying like, oh, like
This ain't for you, Chief.
or more so like, oh, you didn't want to fight? Then when you do want to fight, well, you ain't fighting. Like
That foul was like a legitimate just cause of inactivity, right? Like,
yeah.
he hasn't fought in forever. He gets like the first throw and he has his fingers extended. Like, that's all it was.
And he pulled back
Crazy.
to the slow-mo was bad. He really like hooked the eyelid.
It was
I
bad.
think Lorisenko was right too. She was saying like a corneal abrasion of some sort when you literally just can't open your eye, because he was showing him. He was like, look, like I'm okay, but I just can't open this thing.
Yeah. I think it was almost like not a twitch. She said it was like almost spazzing,
Like muscle spasms.
muscle spasm. Yeah, I mean, do I like? Am I killing myself that we didn't get to watch that? No, but like I did want to see it. I did want to see the fight, but like, well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess run it back in a few weeks. Like,
If he can, yeah.
He was
Maybe
knuckle
just get it
deep in
back.
that motherfucker.
Yeah. The Lee Jung versus Blake Builder fight was wild in terms of just thinking it was about to be over and then it wasn't over, and then thinking it was about to be over and then it wasn't over. Did that fuck you guys bet-wise?
No, he should have finished him.
I did not have a
No.
bet on that one. That was
I had Lee money line, but
yeah. I mean, Builder's just like not very good. I think like I don't really. I think Lee's fine, but like Builder's just like. I mean, if I don't know what his contract is, but I don't know if he's UFC quality anymore.
Quilly in the chat's funny. He said Mark Smith fucked him, no lube. What else on this card was worth mentioning? We mentioned all the main
Azad
fights. Yeah,
Maxim just like, I mean, like just fell apart.
He got fraud checked.
He really did, yeah.
And also crazy that Johnson, that fucking that choke he had was in.
That was crazy that he let that go.
He didn't even realize if he held it for another like 2 seconds,
he was out.
He might have had like a John Jones like Machida.
Yes.
Like the dude was about to just drop.
He let him go. He looked so drunk when he let him go. He's
like
oh.
Instantly like buckled. He was his feet were not there.
No, that's and the commentators realized it right away, obviously too. I'm sure he heard them, and it hurts even more when you hear like DC Lorisenko would be like, "Oh no, he had him."
You could see the moment where like his knees go and he like stumbles backwards.
Yeah, and
you could literally see the moment his eyes almost like pop back up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in a fight. Holy shit!"
Yeah, that was bad. Also, the Luana Carolina versus Julia Stoliarenko fight. Julia having that fight won, and then Luana just like basically doing get up jitsu and just crushing her with ground and pound to finish the fight. That was shocking.
Yeah, she should have had triangle, armbar, something. She blew it. She fumbled.
She like squeezed herself out.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. Like Julius Stinkarenko, it's just like he's just like Luana Carolina won a UFC fight tonight. Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like what are you supposed to do with that? Is now I mean, Luana Carolina's going to somehow have like 13 fights in the UFC by the time her career is over, and we're going to be like, what? She'll never be good.
That was most of the fights on this card. We have a pretty good card next week. Ev, you pointed out in the group chat, we had 13 fights tonight. There's 14 next week. So it's packed, and it's another card, same timing as this week, I think, in terms of like a 4 p.m., 7 p.m., which I love. Nice early card.
That
You got the
Pfeiffer
rest of the night
line,
ahead of you.
that Pfeiffer line is a bit inflated, I think. I mean, I definitely favor him to win, but it's up to minus 210. You know, that's it feels like the hype train's behind him big time.
Oh, also too tonight, Quinones got fucked.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
He won. I don't know how he didn't get 2 and 3 like unanimous. Is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It was unanimous the other way.
Did bonuses come out yet? Like, did they give fight of the night, performance of the night?
I think Molly and Randy Brown got one, and then I think Charles Johnson may have gotten one.
Good for
It was
Molly.
only 3. It was only 3.
Wait.
It was for sure Molly and Randy Brown. But
Charles got like a performance of the night. All right. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't want to. I don't.
Fight of the night. Fight of the night was Maxim and Johnson.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Sure.
I probably would have given it to Dober and Moicano.
Yeah,
I might have given it to Delize just for like surviving.
Yeah, true. Also, Dana, I don't think he was there. I don't know if he was there by the main event, but he was at a card with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, he was in the boxing fight.
Yeah.
Also, should see. I would say next week the Vegas card should see some fanfare. Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
In Vegas, should see some names. I'm sure. I mean, any UFC fans in town will squeeze them in the Apex.
Maybe some busting with the boys, fellas. I would assume.
I think we could see maybe like a Joe Burrow in there, somebody like that.
That's what I was going to say. Joe Burrow will be there. Like 100%.
If he's there Super Bowl week, he'll be at the. He's like a diehard UFC fan.
I don't know if he would be there Super Bowl week, but Baker Mayfield is always part of like that crew when they cut to Joe Burrow, I feel like.
Max Crosby will be there without a doubt. He's always there. He lives in Vegas.
Will be there.
Yep.
Literally, the only reason he's probably wasn't there today was because he's at the Pro Bowl.
Is that happening tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, but it's like a flag. It's a flag game.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's dumb as fuck.
But there were some boxing announcements today. They
rescheduled the Fury fight.
And for May, right? And then there's that $10 million clause. Which
if anyone pulls out, they're like, "Don't fucking pull out this time. We're over."
These Saudi dudes got funny money, bro.
Yeah,
we're out here making 10 million guarantees for pullouts like this. That they got fun coupons out there.
Who is the guy? Forgive me for not knowing ball, but who is the guy in the clip with Fury? Who is that?
I didn't see a clip with Fury actually.
It's the Saudi guy that does the head of like their sport and culture or something like that.
The one with the glasses?
The guy with
probably the same guy that does the WWE shit.
The Middle Eastern guy with glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turkey Alakash or something like that?
Yeah. He had a Middle Eastern name. I didn't know who he was. He was just in the clip with Fury. It was just funny.
Yes, His Excellency. Saudi Arabia.
His Excellency?
I don't know. I'm going to say it just in case.
In case, yeah.
No. Shout out His Excellency and Saudi. Whoa. Yes. If you ever need any fanfare there, cover like we will be there.
You want to pay for the Spinning Backfish show live from Saudi Arabia? Yeah,
we'll be there. And His Excellency, like yes, 100%.
Let me make my sense very clear. You're talking like a day one live supporter. Like I've been like before you guys merged, like been there, done that, like been on the wagon. Throw us any amount of money, we'll go out there instantly.
We will.
And then Beatriv and what Bival, right?
Oh, did they
Yeah.
announce that today or this week?
Yeah, that's a banger.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
Wait, who did they
That's gonna be something. That's the banger.
Was it Beterbiev or Benavidez? Who did they book him?
No,
Beterbiev,
better
right?
BF.
Beterbiev. Yes, I know. Yeah. Arthur.
I'm a Bivol guy after
Yes.
seeing him beat Canelo live, getting to call that fight. I was technically calling that fight on, it was an alternate broadcast pay-per-view, but that's still, it feels like it didn't happen. Dave was smoking weed beforehand. He was like, my shoulder's killing me. I was like, you should smoke a joint as a joke. And he's like, do you have one? I was like, yeah. And then I'll never forget Large was breaking down the card beforehand. And he's like, this guy moved from 135 to 132. Make sure you note that on commentary. And Dave looked up. He was like, that's a zip code? And he was like, no. That was great. That was a great night.
Oh man, him on weed is just something.
It's so funny. That was the card.
I love the boxing fight though. That's like the technician versus like the power puncher.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
And when's Canelo gonna get back in there? May? Cinco de Mayo?
Is he fighting the other Charlo brother?
I think he is. I think Large was saying that.
I want to see. I don't know. I just want to. I'm just over fighting guys where you're minus a billion.
Yeah. The fanfare's fun, but yeah. All right. That was UFC Vegas 85. Make sure you tune into the Spin and Back the Show on Rumble, YouTube, podcast feeds, anywhere where you could get it on Monday for an interview with Johnny Eblin ahead of the PFL Champions versus Bellator Champions card. It's a really good interview, pre-taped, so we know it's good. And we'll get that up on Monday, and we'll do a fight preview later in the week for next week's card as well. Thank you for tuning in. Lee, thank you for joining us. It's nice to get you on the show. And we'll talk to you next time.